Hey, real quick.
How do you ground a paper? If you're using a graphite stick, if you're grounding in graphite, use the side of it, and I'm just using computer paper here because it's cheaper for this demo. Shade the whole thing. Try to get your marks as close together as you can. Oftentimes I'm going to have you tape the border so that it's crisp, but in this case it is kind of vignetted and framed. Try to keep your marks close together and running in the same direction. I had one moment where I went horizontal there. I don't think that's going to look very good. Keep a similar level of intensity and darkness. Then, if you don't have a blending tool or stump, you can use a paper towel and rub it over to smooth it out. And the goal is to have solid, even application. In some of these cases, you can see that the grain of the paper is still visible. That would require another coat. You don't want to end up having your lines as something you have to fight against and work against for the entire drawing. A ground should establish atmosphere. It should establish a surface upon which to work. It should not provide you with distracting marks that are going to then negatively impact your drawing. Try that again. That looks a little bit better and might require still another coat. Also take into account that this is computer paper, so it's a slicker surface, so the material isn't getting into the tooth or the grain of the paper quite as well as if this were Bristol board or drawing paper or anything like that. If you were doing, nice paper, if you were doing compressed charcoal is an incredibly soft material that will lend itself to even coating. It's also going to lend itself to a terrific mess. You want a velvety black surface that will provide you an incredible amount of contrast. As dark as this material is, you'll be surprised how you're able to pull your lights out. So I'm just taking kind of this powder, and again, you could do this with a paper towel. I would not do it with a blending stump because then you're going to kind of destroy it permanently. You'll always have that. But if you had one designated in your personal tools for just this media, that's fine. Sometimes I recommend, or oftentimes I recommend people using their fingers. You can see that stains them pretty well. They'll kind of be purple for the rest of the day. In this case, I'm using a paper towel, but typically your finger is going to distribute the media into the paper, whereas the paper towel is kind of absorbing it in. I would do another coat on this because I don't know if you could tell on camera, but it is not the solid velvet that I so desire. Now, with both of these surfaces, you are prepared to begin your subtractive process, which is essentially drawing with an eraser.
Does that make sense? All right, good.